Hello and welcome to CATEX-TV. It's 11:30 Eastern Time, 3:30 in London, and 12:30 in Bermuda. Today in history. Today in 1989, the Exxon Valdez tanker ran aground in the Prince William Sound in Alaska and spilled something in the region of 750,000 barrels of crude oil. It is considered to be one of the most devastating human-caused environmental disasters. As significant as the Valdez spill was, the largest ever in US waters until last year's Deepwater Horizon spill, it ranks well down the list of the world's largest oil spills in terms of volume released. However, Prince William Sound's remote location, accessible only by helicopter, plane and boat, made government and industry response efforts difficult and severely taxed the existing plans for response. Also today in history, today in 1992, a Sudanese Boeing 707 crashed on a mountain in Hymettos at Athens. 6 people died. And today in 1994, an F-16 collided with a C-130 Hercules in North Carolina, and 120 people were killed. And now to the news. Today's news is sort of largely dominated by company news, for which I apologize. AIG-owned Fuji Marine and Fire has estimated that its maximum loss from the Japanese earthquake tsunami disaster will be $508 million. The company is 55%, or 54.66% owned by AIG Group, said it expects a maximum possible loss of about $508 million from the Japanese earthquake and tsunami. This is in addition to the $700 million that AIG's flagship subsidiary Charters is expecting in losses, as was reported on the 21st of this month. AIG said the Fuji Fire Marine losses could affect AIG's financial results. So that's those losses. Now, Platinum Re, which issued its forecast yesterday for the New Zealand and Australia, or the New Zealand earthquake and Australia floods, has now said that it may face losses up to $100 million from the earthquake in Japan. But the reinsurer may have enough capital because the event has activated a catastrophe bond. So we're seeing a number of bond triggers as a result of the Japanese tsunami. Shares in Platinum rose 1.6% to $37.31 in trading yesterday afternoon. Its stock is down about 6% since the quake hit. Platinum, based on models from EquiCat, estimated that losses from the disaster may be between 12 and 25 billion. That's sort of fairly consistent with what we're seeing across the industry. Now, Swiss Re, which has said that its losses from the Japanese earthquake, which could be in the region of about $1.2 billion, has today proposed a 175% increase in its dividend for the year 2010, releasing its improved capital base and profitability. The Switzerland-based reinsurance company proposed dividend comes to 2.75 Swiss francs per share for 2010, up from 1 Swiss franc paid in the previous year. The dividend to all shareholders of record will be paid on shareholder record as of 18th of April 2011 and will be paid on April the 26th. The board has proposed a reduction in authorized capital alongside changes to conditional capital. The board has recommended a reduction in authorized capital to 85 million shares from 180 million shares. In addition to this, Renato Fassbind has been proposed to to be elected to the board for a 3-year term. The company said its shareholders will be invited to vote on these and other proposals on the 147th Ordinary General Meeting to be held on April the 15th in Zurich. Obviously, earthquakes and the potential for them to strike is very high up in the news and in the insurers and reinsurers' minds at the moment. A report has just come out, which has been quoted in Al Jazeera, which says that the Philippines' capital, Manila, is woefully underprepared for a major earthquake that could hit at any time and kill tens of thousands of people, flattening nearly half the homes in the city. The capital, Manila, sits on a massive fault line and there are concerns that the city's infrastructure would not be able to withstand a quake. Authorities in the Philippines have been anxiously looking at vulnerabilities in Manila, a megalopolis of more than 12 million people, following the devastating earthquakes to hit both New Zealand and, of course, Japan. Like those countries, the Philippines sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire, which is a belt around the Pacific area dotted by active volcanoes and tectonic trenches. Heavily populated urban areas on the Philippines mainland of Luzon, including Manila, sit on or near at least 4 fault systems. In the UK, the UK subsidiary of Dutch insurer Aegis, so Aegis UK, has just announced that it has bought a broker called Castle Cover, which specializes in insurance cover for people over 50, for consideration of £52.8 million. Aegis said the acquisition will increase its customer numbers to around 8 million. Within Aegis's UK retail operation, the acquisition will create a combined retail customer base of 2 million people. Aegis already owns over 50 specialist companies. Castle Cover has around 280,000 customer policies and reported revenue of £22 million in 2010. It will bring Aegis's total retail revenues to around 200 million. Aegis UK Chief Executive Barry Smith said the Castle Cover deal gives Aegis a stronger presence in the over 50s market. He said, adding an established brand to our retail operation and enhancing our proven knowledge in this growing insurance market. This purchase supports our multi-distribution strategy and will build on existing expertise, which is focused on the meeting of minds in this customer group. Castle Cover will continue to operate under its brand name and will become a subsidiary company of Aegis UK, which will now employ over 4,500 people in the UK. Janet Connor will be Managing Director of both Reus and Castle Cover. Andy Watson, Managing Director UK Retail, said, "We're delighted that Castle Cover will be joining the Aegis UK retail operation." And finally today, in the US, federal safety officials are investigating a report that 2 planes landed at Reagan National Airport in Washington without control tower clearance because the air traffic controller was asleep. An aviation official who spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss the incident said that the single controller or supervisor was scheduled for duty in the tower at that time but had fallen asleep. National Transportation Safety Board spokesman Peter Knudsen said the incident occurred on Tuesday night. Mr. Knudsen said the pilots of 2 planes were unable to reach the tower, but they were in communication with Regional Air Traffic Control Facility, also based in Virginia. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, officials didn't respond immediately to a request for comment. No surprise there. Well, that's all from us today. We'll be back with you at the same time tomorrow. Until then, thank you very much, and goodbye.